Live from the KHOU11 studios, it's Great Day Houston. And now, here's your host, Deborah Duncan.
We just saw how men are making their mark with their dirt bikes, typical boys playing in the dirt. Well, women can do a few stunts, too. In fact, we caught up with a lady behind the wheel who just can't wait to burn rubber on the racetrack.
Incredible experience. I don't think many people get to actually drive a dragster down a strip like this. It was amazing. I've always been a daddy's girl, so I grew up kind of on the tomboy side, and I love the adrenaline rush, and you definitely get that out here. It is a thrill ride for sure. Your heart beats out of your chest, you get the adrenaline flowing. It's like sitting there with anticipation, waiting for the lights to go down so that you can hit the pedal to the metal. It is great. I was very nervous on the first run that we did. I must say I was a little scared. Got a little mad at myself for acting like a girl, I think, on the first run, because I didn't want to do that. Once I kind of felt my way through the first run and was able to really just put the pedal to the metal and full throttle it all the way down, and I wound up, I think, on my last run at 133 miles an hour, which was great. And I think I had a smile on my face the whole way. I think girls can do anything that guys can do, so I was ready to take the challenge on. I did it. Like I said, I was mad at myself for pulling off the gas just a little bit on the first try, so I was determined the next few times not to do that, and it was a fantastic experience. And everybody here was great. They really walked you through everything. Come on, just make sure that you come out here and know that you're gonna have a good time. I was worried about it as well. It's seriously like driving a go-kart. I mean, it's very similar. You just gotta come do it and experience it. You really do. It's like nothing that you've ever done before.
Fresh off the track, barreling down the Katy Freeway, she joins us now. Please welcome racing enthusiast Kristi Powers. Okay, first of all, I think you couldn't help yourself because of the last name Powers. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of in my name and the blood as well.
Yeah. Okay, I got to ask you this. I know everybody asks you this. So you put the pedal to the metal on the racetrack. How many tickets have you gotten when you're just driving your regular car?
I'm actually really good, believe it or not. I've gotten like maybe 2 or 3 in my life, but not too many.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so by day you're the account executive, which is kind of a very contained, anal type of job. And so is that why you seek the thrill on the other side, or just how did you come about that?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of in me. I think it's in my blood. Like I said, I was a daddy's girl, so I grew up like in the workshop with the little tools, helping him like change oil and things. And I grew up with dirt bikes, kind of like the Supercross you were just talking about. Right. Throughout my life, here's us in glider plane. There's my motorcycle that I used to ride. So I just grew up doing a lot of tomboy things. And my dad was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne.
Yeah,
so he's a daredevil. It's in my blood. I'm my father's daughter for sure.
Well, more and more today, we're seeing women enter into racing, and so we have more role models today. Who are some of yours?
Wonder Woman. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you're talking about a female heroine, but honestly, I grew up in Florida, in Cape Canaveral, so for me, Sally Ride, the first female astronaut in space, was a great role model for me.
And of course, you knew her here in Houston,
Right.
And so Danica Patrick, though, getting behind the wheel of the car.
Yes.
And slowly but surely what's happening, because before it was cute when a girl got in, right? And they'd be like,
not so much anymore.
And we have a pretty girl. But now it's like, oh, she's kind of good.
Yes. And it's great. Danica Patrick has certainly gotten new fans and new eyes on the sport, but even in NHRA, we've got the drag racer Shirley Modani. So from 1976, she was kind of the trailblazer here as far as women in this type of a sport. And even today, we've got 2 NHRA drag racers. We've got Courtney Force, her dad's a legendary drag racer, and we've also got Erica Enders-Stevens, and she's a Houston native, so you have to come out and support her, right? These girls are great, and they actually made history. this year they opened the drag race season and they placed back-to-back victories, which is the first time it's ever happened in NHRA history. So they're trailblazers as well, and they're coming to the Royal Purple Raceway April 26th to the 28th for the NHRA Spring Nationals. So you have to come out, especially for that Houston native, and support her, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so they're racing against the guys,
They
right?
are.
So, and I think that's
Same
what
rules.
the difference is that, you know, in some other sports, like you have the WNBA, or you have some
Yes.
women's football leagues that have
No.
come and gone. But the thing is that people wouldn't go. In this case, it really is about who's the best.
These are back-to-back victories, and they beat all the boys. So girl power. We've got girl power going on in the NHRA. And they're coming to Royal Purple, which is fantastic.
Overall, though, you know, we still struggle with women being respected in the sports field unless you're doing something like, you know, gymnastics or whatever.
Sure.
So are we ever going to get there, or is it situations like this where you are one-on-one, head-to-head with the guys that are going to make the difference?
I think so, and I think it's also being a good role model and staying out there and, you know, really being somebody that little kids, little girls can look up to, and boys too, you know? I mean, it's the same sport, so it's just making a name for yourself and really getting out there.
Oh, well, now look at that. You were doing something there.
This is zip lining. We were zip lining in Whistler, British Columbia, and I've done it in Mexico. This is us, my husband and I, snowmobiling. I went out snowmobiling with the boys. I had a really bad wreck on that trip, by the way. They had to dig me out.
Were you going too fast?
Yeah, too fast in a turn, and I turned it completely over. Yeah, so they had to dig me out. This was actually over Lake LBJ in Austin. This was kind of hang gliding, but you do it with a motor, so because we don't have mountains around here, so you do it in a motor and you cut the motor loose.
Now you're crazy talk going on here. This is crazy right here.
This is over Stone Mountain, Georgia. This was climbing up to the top and getting out on that ledge. So I'm really not afraid of heights. My dad, of course, is the one that took the picture because nobody else would go with me.
Would go with you. So what is your life insurance policy like?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I will tell you, when we were going down that drag racing strip, and the first time, you know, when I said I was nervous, I was honestly nervous. And when Doug Foley, it's the Doug Foley driving experience, when he walked away, he was our instructor, so it was fantastic. He's well known in the drag racing industry. And when he walked away, I thought, oh no, don't wreck the car. Yeah. And don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Or not
those are the
necessarily in that
things.
order. Not necessarily in that order.
I was like, oh, okay. But, you know, I really, when I hit that pedal, it was such an adrenaline rush, but I really was mad at myself for like kind of letting off of it.
But that was just the first time because you got back.
I have such determination, and I'm so competitive, so that's why you heard me say, oh, I'm so determined, I'm not going to do that the next time.
The thing is, and it's a metaphor for all kinds of things, and that is that you take the chance and you live life.
You try.
You try.
You don't live in fear.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love that.
You overcome the fear.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to know more about some drag racing events coming to the Bayou City later this month, just go to our site at greatdayhouston.com. And again, don't forget to log on and let us know who your favorite action star is. I think it's you for me right now. Is it